Hello, everyone. I'm Brooke. I'm the host. This is Babes in Joyland. Babes because we're like newer comedians, but also because we're like very, very good looking. Thank you. Not really a joke, but thank you for laughing. I did say my name is Brooke. I spell it with an E. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry, I'll spell it wrong. Then I'm broke. Fun fact, for a short little bit of time, my mom and my dad were both 69 years old. Yay, that's so cool. And they also moved during that time to Cumming Circle, which is actually what a 69 is, right, if it's done correctly. I'm a big proponent in being positive, being an optimist, right? So I believe that anything can be a 69 if your head is in the right place. And I also try to manifest like my best life. So if I see 69s, not like when I see my mom and dad, but like if it's like 69 degrees or 69% on my phone, I'll just blow it a kiss. Because deep down, I believe that if I keep doing that, eventually it will blow me back. I'm also a substitute teacher, which is really fun. The kids are crazy right now. They're kind of broken because of COVID, and they're using words we have never heard of, like skibbity, skibbity toilet riz. So I'll try to use it in my, just to like help them do what they're supposed to do, right? Like don't give me Ohio, right? None of y'all are from Ohio. I want to see Sigma. So get your giots in your seats and walk in. And they're like, how do you know these words? It's like, I have TikTok too, kids. It's fun. I like teaching. You just get this list, and you're supposed to just follow it, and hopefully everything goes fine. But sometimes the kids make it a little weird, right? Like when you're reading a book about worms, and they you just shout out in the middle of the book. Like this kid. This book was called Carl and the Meaning of Life, in case you want to reference it. But halfway through the book, he just says, hey, girls pee out of their butts. What? They don't teach you a lot. Like teachers need improv because you have to think like really fast on your feet. Like what do you say in a moment like that? Do you read from The Secret Garden? You know, do you tell them like, So I've been just trying to go to the school board, try to put cliteracy in the curriculum. I feel like it's important these days. All right, I have a very, very fun show. We're going to keep it moving. I'm going to introduce the next comedian. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. A Jill of many trades. Please welcome to the stage, Astrid Munn.
Thank you. Thank you, Brooke. Oh, man. So, I'm realizing through TikTok and the meme-verse that my what I thought was my Latina upbringing is not the typical Latina upbringing. You know, apparently while everyone else was getting la chancla thrown at them, I was apparently swimming in the warm, permissive waters of Dr. Spock's Baby and Child Care. And if you think I emerged from that unscathed, you're wrong. And how I know that is that when I, reflect inward and, really have a conversation with myself, I just end up with these like postcards from myself to myself. Do you guys want to hear them? Okay. Well, this first one, it's a Batman Returns a postcard from July 1992. So I'm like 5. Dear Astrid, my tummy hurts. Mom and Dad are giggling over a catalog. Fredericks of Hollywood? I'm not allowed to look at it. I bet there's Chi-Chis involved. I'm never allowed when there's Chi-Chis involved. I don't think they want me around. Okay, I'm gonna take this medical textbook, hide in my toy closet, and teach myself how to read now. Oh man, this one's from a few years later. It's a Spice Girls postcard from April 1997. Dear Ms. Munn, I consulted my medical textbook, but I don't know what's wrong with me. Every time I look at my mom's Cosmo, I go breathless. It's like every time I see a pretty woman, like Barbara Eden, I stop functioning. Must be a new kind of asthma. I went on the World Wide Web after school today. I wanted to learn about tomorrow night's episode of Ellen. Apparently there's supposed to be a big reveal. My dad says she's gonna jump the shark, but I've never really known her to joke about fish. Oh man, this next one, it's those stupid owls from the Nagano Olympics. Hey, home skillet. You know that scene in Bambi where he and his friends get all horny and abandon each other to go have sex? My dog just did that to me. At least I have my Tamagotchi. Oh, wait, it pooped again. A few years go by, and I have this postcard. It's Firefly. Oh, gosh. This one's dated May 20th, 2002. What? Sorry. A man just followed me in his 1976 Mercury Cougar. I told my dad, but he was like, well, with those shorts, what did you expect? It's weird. It's like, I mean, I know I'm not pretty. My skin's not orange enough. I'm a size 7. And you know, like, I scared all the boys when I brought that dictaphone to class. But, like, what does this mean? Like, it's like, you don't even have to be pretty to be kidnapped. You just have to be female. I wonder if getting kidnapped would make me more popular. I could look good on a milk carton. Oh man, this one, it's got a Pete Sampras. Oh man, August 20th, 2002. Hi, what a summer. I was in a local production of Ragtime, and I may or may not have made out with a 40-year-old backstage. I told my therapist, but, you know, he, like my mom, is from Central America, and I guess after a certain age, you know, the milkman, the policeman, the bus driver, they all just kind of feel you up after a certain point. So I guess I'm growing up. And this last one, it's, I don't know, it's the death card left by the DC snipers. October 29th, 2002. I wish people would stop calling me an old soul. I don't care what La Curandera said. I'm pretty sure I'm not the reincarnation of Cleopatra. I'm pretty sure I'm just really tall and kind of smart for my age. And that really sucks, because then you're kind of on your own and you can be like, hey, principal, like, I'm kind of dating the student teacher, and it's like crickets. I wish I were smaller, more petite, and dumber. Maybe then people would care more. Like Britney Spears. I bet her dad takes care of her real well. Well, those are all the postcards I found inside of me for now. But It's time for me to bring on our next comic. She's amazing, and she has lots of fun facts up her sleeve. And so let's give it up for Gabby Dammkoehler.
Thank you. I feel like I should have worn something with sleeves, but I didn't. Man, I tell you what, there is nothing like a crisp Baja Blast at your dad's funeral. I have had a lisp my entire life on my THs, except my parents didn't believe in speech therapy, so I never got it fixed. And now I just spend my entire life dreading that someone will ask me what time it is when it's fee. I live in fear. Recently, I've been reminiscing about high school. It was a dark time for me. I was a fan fiction writer. I wrote Doctor Who One Direction crossover fan fiction. Yeah, set during the American Revolution. And if that doesn't tell you exactly the type of person I am, I don't know what will. I think the best part in that entire fan fiction is when the 11th Doctor takes Harry Styles' hand in his and strokes it sensually and says, "Your hands are so soft, it's as if you've never churned butter a day in your life." It wasn't even innuendo. I just thought having soft hands was really attractive in a man, okay? Also had me remembering my first ever dance with a boy. I was 14. He was 6 inches shorter than me, but my standards were low. But I was a good Christian girl, so I left enough room for Jesus, Mary, Joseph, and 3 out of 4 of the founding fathers. Okay? And it was romantic. Okay? At 14, that was the epitome of romance, though looking back at how much Axe body spray he was wearing, probably would have preferred a dance with one of the founding fathers. Whew. You know, speaking of, history, presidents, founding fathers, and all that jazz, you in the front row, in the black shirt, who is the sexiest United States president? You have 46 options. Now, that is a lame response, but I'm going to tell you, it is 14th President of the United States, Franklin Pierce. Woo! I know. For those of you who have never seen his beautiful face, he looks like the forbidden love child of Heath Ledger and Timothée Chalamet, if he had some sort of tragic childhood illness. But he's more than just a pretty face. He was also responsible for the Gadsden Purchase. Yeah, the purchasing of the lower half of New Mexico and Arizona. We were all thinking it. And I mean, it's important because without New Mexico, we wouldn't have Albuquerque. And without Albuquerque, we wouldn't have such cultural milestones as Breaking Bad and the cinematic masterpiece High School Musical. And without High School Musical, we wouldn't have such great songs as Bop to the Top and my personal favorite, Soarin', flying, sometimes I dream that I make out with Franklin Pierce. He's just so hot, okay? I mean, he sucked as president, but he was a hottie. And, speaking of things that occurred in the Civil War era, 1850s to 1860s, much like Franklin Pierce's politics, in 1995, Mattel released Civil War Nurse Barbie. Like, what is that? I mean, I know her whole shtick is that she can be anything she wants to be, but a Civil War nurse? Really? Barbie? Really? And she actually came with this fun little booklet that tells about how she became a Civil War nurse. And in this little book, it includes the wonderful line, "She sometimes found herself on the open battlefield tending to soldiers from both armies." What the fuck, Barbie? This is literally Gettysburg, bitch. Choose a side, and please, for the love of God, choose the North, because I don't want to see Plantation Barbie hitting shelves next Christmas, okay? I'm just joking. They already made Plantation Barbie. There's a whole Gone with the Wind collection. Look, that kills with the 70-plus crowd, okay? If this were a nursing home, you all would be dying of laughter, hopefully, and not cardiac arrest or something. I have been reflecting recently on peekaboo. It's fun with babies because they don't have object permanence yet, Object permanence being when something's outside your line of sight, you believe it's gone forever. So it's great with babies and horrible with stalkers. Yeah, I tried it the other day, but I kept closing my eyes, but he just kept getting closer and closer and closer. And now I have to live with the fact that my creepy ex-boyfriend watches me sleep through a hole in my blinds. It's great. Yeah. Did you know Sri Lanka has a drug cartel? Yeah, my ex-boyfriend was the personality hire for the Sri Lankan drug cartel. Yeah, he was the quote-unquote funny man, except he only really had one joke, and it went something like, knock, knock, who's there? You. You who? You who, bitch? You need to lay off the fucking chocolate milk because you look like you're hitting the 3rd trimester. You fugly-ass cow. Yeah, that's how I found out the Sri Lankan drug cartel deals Ozempic. Earlier I brought up the 70-plus crowd, and that made me think of my grandmother and the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life, which was her naked. I mean, technically I also saw 9/11, but I was only 4 months old, so I hadn't developed object permanence. So when the Twin Towers disappeared from the New York City skyline, all I could think was, damn, are those skyscrapers good at peekaboo. All right, that has been my time. I am now going to introduce the lovely Akundo Ejeluno. Woo! All the way from Philadelphia.
Thank you, white girl. Thank you. I love it. I just love it. Well, I'm visiting from Philly, first time in Omaha. You all are sexy. I'm actually lying. I'm escaping from Philly, so let's not record this moment. It's not going to work out. So my name is Akundo, and I was born in Nigeria. People assume just because I'm black, I know how to say black names, but I can't. Like, for example, my nephew, his name is Chinamenem. I call him Cinnamon. My friend name is Daweed. I call him Dickhead. And for a long time, I thought my name was Akudo Matata, but it wasn't. It wasn't. And not because I don't like black names. I don't like names with struggles. You know, Keisha, Shaquana, Kilimanjaro, like some of your coworkers, right? I want a simple name like Nancy, Lisa, Taylor. What's your name, love? Madeline, privilege, thank you. I love Madeline. What's your name? Shrestha, struggle, you're my best friend. But I do have a dilemma. I have a friend named Karen. Ooh, but she's black. Ooh. So the other day, I sent Karen a text, and she responded, K. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I sent her a follow-up text. She wrote, KK. I'm afraid to send that 3rd text. And I flew in. There's some people on the plane who definitely sent that 3rd text. Like, what's going on? So I have a newborn at home. Thank you. He's 5. He's new to me. I don't know this kid. So I'm an aunt, and for a while I was helping my cousin raise her 2 kids. She has a 5-year-old and an 11-year-old. Yeah. She was going through her will one evening. She's like, Akudo, if anything happens to me, you'll take care of the kids. I look her in the eye, and I said, bitch, I don't negotiate with terrorists. Like, I wasn't there when you produced these kids. My pull-out game is tight. I pull out of every relationship that I'm in. Like, what is this? But one thing I do love about being an aunt is reading bedtime stories to my niece and nephew. Last night, I read my nephew the book, Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. All the white folks like, we know that book. Know that book. So I'm going to have you guys snap, and I want to sing this first line to that book. A told B, and B told C, I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree. Chicka chicka boom boom. Will there be enough room? All right, that was good. Here's my version of the book. Snap again. A told B, and B told C, I gave them both an STD. A and B, thank you for coming. Results are in. But tonight, I'm going to read my nephew the book, Everyone Poops. Have y'all heard about the sequel, Everyone Masturbates, illustrated by Louis C.K. Got those bullies earlier. You know, why not? One thing I love about being a comic is traveling. But I realize TSA PreCheck It's like going to a Chris Brown concert. You enter there married, but you leave divorced. For example, I went on a date, and they said, where do you want to go? Let's travel abroad. So I told my guy I was dating, I said, make sure you get your TSA pre-check and your global entry. But no, he did not do that. As soon as we got back to the US, there was a long line of immigration. And I thought to myself, wow, do I leave him here? Or do I, no, that's it. Do I leave him here? So I was like, damn, Akundo, the D is pretty good. Why not stay? And I was like, nah, girl, you bisexual, leave him. So I left. And Lisa say he never came back. Yeah. My nephew had to go. Sorry, that was dark. Y'all what happened there? What happened? That was a lot of information. I enjoy being a Black comic. Now I'm just lying with y'all. I'm just trying to see what's going on here. No, I actually enjoy being an African comic. But the hard thing about being an African comic is collecting people's email addresses to build my fan base. I heard that you guys heard from my cousin, the African Prince. So now I have to have a different remedy. But I was watching the news one evening. A girl met a guy at a bar. She gave him the phone to enter his phone number, but he Venmo'd himself $1,500 from her account. I know. Forget her. Why is she flexing that she has $1,500? So my solution is, when you guys are leaving, meet me at the door, hand me your phone, and I'll give you my phone number. If I give you something more, let's just say it's reparations. Why not? Yay! All right, well, that's my time. I'm going to introduce your next comic, whose name I can't really pronounce, who's also exotic. Can we give it up for Penelope?
Yes, I'm so exotic. Hi, guys, I'm Penelope Flowers. I am a trans woman. If you're not sure what that means, it just means that if you're attracted to me, you're gay. Doesn't matter your sex or gender. If you want to fuck me, you're gay. I don't make the rules. That's just the way it is. I'm a trans woman. I've been on the force for 3 years now. I've gained a lot of experience being a trans woman. I can put together outfits for myself. I can do my own makeup. I've learned how to manipulate horny men into paying for my drinks. You know, the standard woman skill set. I honestly think I'm getting a little bit better at being a trans woman every single day. And I know that that's true, because every single day I get a little bit worse at peeing standing up. Every time I miss the bowl, I can feel the estrogen coursing through my veins just a little bit stronger. It's better than crack. People treat trans people really weird. People say really weird stuff to us a lot. Something we get really frequently is when are you gonna get bottom surgery? A bit of an invasive question. Also pretty presumptuous. Motherfucker really thinks that I have a spare $10,000 and the cognitive discipline to call and make an appointment? No fucking way. Honestly, between the money and the phone call, I think the $10K would be easier for me to make. I'm an illustrator. You know how much people are willing to shell out for cartoon wolf ass on the internet? Come see me after the show. No, it is actually a bit of a misconception. A lot of trans people don't actually want to get bottom surgery at all for a variety of different personal reasons. Mine is just that I've been getting good reviews. And it doesn't seem wise to prematurely retire my most popular product, right? No, I like that joke. I don't know if it fully represents how I actually feel about surgery anymore. There's just so many options for what to do down there. I get decision paralysis. I really wish that I could get put on like an HGTV home remodeling show, but for sex reassignment surgery. You know, just let the Property Brothers make the big genital decisions for me. I do have some ideas of what I might do. There's a surgery I might want to get called an orchiectomy, and that is where they take your balls but leave the shaft. It's not for the gender dysphoria, though. I just want to have a tactical advantage. Like, if I get into a fight, I would love to be immune to being kicked in the balls. If that just so happens to feminize me, then fucking cherry on top, right? Couple other alternatives. I know I want to do something with my ball sack because it doesn't make sperm anymore. It doesn't make sperm anymore, and I don't like owning things that don't serve a purpose. I've been actively trying to contract appendicitis for several years now in a bizarre attempt to Marie Kondo my own body. This does not spark joy. No. I've thought of a couple of alternatives for my ball sack. I could get a zipper installed down there, to store spare snacks. Like, I have my purse, but sometimes you just want a single handful of trail mix. And I don't want to waste a whole zippy bag on that. I'm trying to save the environment here. I could get a Wi-Fi router installed down there. A mobile hotspot, a scrotal cock spot, if you will. That one sucks. I want to get really good at sucking dick, you guys. Which I feel like is a weird thing to aspire to be good at, right? Because I hear people all the time bragging about their head game. Oh, I give such good head. I hear that all the time. I never hear anybody say, oh, I give terrible head right now. But I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm on a journey of self-improvement, and one day, I plan to be one of the greats. You never hear that, which sucks. That's inspiring. I want to be an inspiration. I haven't sucked that many dicks. I've sucked enough dicks to know, however, that I do not get any sexual gratification from the act. The only reason I keep doing it, it's just a love of the game thing at this point. Like, you might be saying, Penelope, if you don't like to suck dick, why don't you just get really good at licking pussy? And fair question, two things for you. One, okay, ye of little faith, Jesus Christ. And two, I don't know, it just doesn't bring out my competitive edge the same way. There's something about putting a squishy cylinder in my mouth that just makes me want to hone my craft. I don't know what it is. Guys, I don't think there's enough consequences to our actions nowadays. Back in the day, there used to be consequences to our back in the day, of course, means 500 BCE, by the way. 500 BCE, there were consequences to your actions. An example, when Prometheus snuck into the palace of the gods, stole fire, bestowed that as a gift of great enlightenment and destruction upon humanity, he was rewarded by being chained to a rock to have eagles peck out his liver until the end of time. And like Mark Zuckerberg just gets to be a billionaire, that doesn't seem right. Because those are analogous situations, right? Mark Zuckerberg snuck into the palace of the gods, Harvard, stole fire, Facebook, bestowed this as a gift of great enlightenment and destruction upon humanity, and then what, just fucking happily ever after? I don't like that at all. I think we, as Americans, should go get an eagle and have it peck out Mark Zuckerberg's liver. It's only fair. Okay, we're gonna get Brooke back on up here. That's our show. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you. Don't go too far. I want everyone to come back up. All the comedians, we'll do it real quick. We have 2 seconds. Yay. Thank you so much, Akundo and Gabby and Penelope and Astrid. Tune in tomorrow night to watch the podcast. Bye.
bum 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 bum